The premier endurance sports car racing championship in North America features the bravest drivers and the most famous automotive brands tackling the continent's toughest races. Round 9 of the 2019 IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship takes place at a fan and driver favorite as well as one of the world's most famous racetracks. Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is unlike any other racetrack or race weekend on the calendar. Drivers and teams in the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge are on track for round 7 of 2019. So, fasten your seatbelts, because it's time to go sports car racing. In America's heartland, in a small town called Elkhart Lake, lives a racetrack. But this isn't your ordinary racetrack. No, Road America is something special. At 4 miles long, the longest lap of the IMSA season has a little bit of everything among its 14 very different corners. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin features the natural beauty, and Road America features the naturally beautiful racing each summer. And no matter the weather, come rain or shine, the racing here always is beautiful and oh so memorable. From the racing in DPI, GT Le Mans, GT Daytona, LMP2, and across all the other IMSA-sanctioned series, Road America is the perfect backdrop for fast, close, and some of the most intense battles, lap after lap, year after year. Jerome Bleekemolen has the most wins of an active driver at Road America with 5, and will team with Ben Keating in the number 33 Mercedes AMG Team Riley Motorsports this year. 3 drivers are tied with 4 wins apiece: Jörg Bergmeister, Timo Bernhard, and Oliver Gavin, the latter of whom will be co-driving this weekend in Wisconsin in the number 4 Corvette Racing Chevrolet Corvette. Only 2 manufacturers have double-digit wins at Road America, Chevrolet and Porsche. Chevrolet leads Porsche 13-12. Speaking of Corvette racing, the longtime IMSA entrant is the winningest team at Road America with 7 victories. The next closest is Audi with 5 and Ford Chip Ganassi Racing with 4 wins. Ford, meanwhile, could hit its stride this weekend at Road America. Ford Chip Ganassi Racing earned its first victory of the season at Lime Rock Park last week with the number 67 Ford GT duo of Ryan Briscoe and Richard Westbrook. Several familiar faces from this season are back on the entry list at Road America after a brief hiatus. Tommy Milner rejoins the GT Le Mans field in the number 4 Chevrolet Corvette with Oliver Gavin after Milner suffered an injury to his hand 2 races ago at Watkins Glen. Wisconsin's own James French will represent his home state this weekend, pairing up for the first time this year in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship with Performance Tech Motorsports in the number 38 Oreca LMP2. French takes the place of Kyle Masson and will join his 2019 IMSA Prototype Challenge co-driver Cameron Castles in the 38. Road America is big, really big. At over 4 miles long, the longest racetrack on the IMSA schedule isn't just big though, it's fast, really fast. All 4 categories are back on track this weekend. DPI and LMP2 rejoin GT Le Mans and GT Daytona for 2 hours and 40 minutes of high-speed racing. And with the season winding down, Road America kicks off the final 4 weekends of the 2019 season. So, if a team plans to make noise, Wisconsin is where they have to get loud. In the last 3 race weekends, we've seen 3 different winning teams in DPI, but the action in GT Daytona is as exciting as ever. 1 year ago, Patrick Long and Christina Nielsen found victory lane at Road America for Wright Motorsports.
Amazing. We've been looking for that podium all season. Our first opportunity was at Sebring. And especially Lime Rock, we thought that was going to be our weekend, but we ran into our situation that was out of our control. So to carry that momentum through and finally get it this weekend, all we wanted to do was get redemption from Lime Rock, and I think we did it in the best way possible. The Right Motorsport guys gave us an amazing car. Porsche really delivered this weekend. I couldn't be more proud to be with this brand and be with this group of people.
Yeah, it's interesting because our strategy was really based around a more green flag race. There were a few key points where the guys stayed cool and decided to go their own direction, and it paid off. We have a great trust of guys up on the pit card, and sometimes four heads is better than one, and today it's surely played out.
So this week, the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, home of Road America, the longest track on the WeatherTech Championship schedule, 4.04 miles, in contrast to last week at Lime Rock Park, the shortest track, 1.5 miles. What does that do to the racing, you say? Well, downforce in the prototypes is a very big concern here. Long straightaways, high speed, long duration corners makes your downforce choice very important. Consider this lap speed, the highest we go to, full throttle, 87% of the lap full throttle. So this is a very high speed track, lots of high duration, high load corners. This week, the Mazda is going to have 20 kilos and they're going to lose 12.3 kilowatts of power with a boost reduction. So that's going to reduce their performance. We think about 0.7 of a second based on the simulation. The Acura DPI, it's going to receive 10 kilos of weight, as well as the Cadillac's going to receive 10 kilos with an additional 10 kilos and a 0.6 of a millimeter restrictor change. So what we've done in effect to try to bring the Nissan back into the game is we've put 10 kilos on the other three cars, in addition to making two valid balance of performance changes, one on the Mazda, one on the Cadillac. All of this is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out on this long 4-mile track. In GTLM, that racing has been fantastic. We've made no changes there, trying to continue the continuity in that class, so we expect good racing here as well. Keep your eye out on that DPI class, big changes there. We'll see how that works out. Enjoy the race.
Acura Team Penske driver Juan Pablo Montoya knows Road America well. From an IndyCar to his number 6 Acura DPI that he shares with Dane Cameron, Montoya explains that setting up a car for a track this big is no small task.
I believe that one of the key to success in this track is to have a balance between the fast and slow corners. Just like the first corner, the Carousel, the King, or corner number 3 are very, very fast corners that must be at full throttle, and the car needs to have a lot of stability. But also, there we have corners like the number 5, number 2, or Canada corner that are very, very slow. So in those corners, you will need a lot of grip in front so that the car crosses fast. But every time you add grip to the front, in consequence, it makes the fast corners difficult to cross. So finding the perfect balance is very complicated. It's an extremely fast track where you get up to 180 miles per hour. And it truly is fun but very difficult. And I think that you need consistency to win here. So far, we have been the fast car in the practice sessions, and that is a good sign, but in racing, anything can happen.
Cooper McNeil, driver of the number 63 WeatherTech Racing Scuderia Corsa Ferrari 488 GT3. Let's go for a lap around Road America. So here we are at Road America on the front straightaway in our WeatherTech Racing Ferrari 488 GT3, coming across the start-finish line there. We're at top of 6th gear here. We brake just past the access road on the left, down 2 gears to 4th gear. It's really important to get to the apex curbing right there in turn 1. Otherwise, the car wants to understeer to the exit. Use all the road on the exit. What's nice about the race director here is we can use all the road on the exit of 1 and we don't get called for track limits. Turn 3, again, important to get down to the apex to get the car to turn. Use a little road on the exit. We have a prototype there. I'm not sure what he's doing. Long straightaway going into turn 5, up through the gears, listening to the sound of the car, looking at the trees, trying to find the brake boards right here. We brake just past the 3 board, We go all the way down to second gear. We're downhill here, so it's important to get to the curb. Otherwise, you can overshoot the corner. Use all the road on the exit. It's a little bumpy, but the traction control works well. Down to second gear for turn 6. We turn in, back to power, flat on the gas. We go up a gear, turn 7. We just lift a little bit, try to get to the curb and miss it a little bit. A little bit more would be nice, but that was not bad. Turn 8. Again, downhill brake zone, so it's important not to blow the brake zone. Down to second gear, get all the way to the apex curb, helps the car rotate. And then here's the famous Carousel at Road America, one of my favorite corners at any racetrack we go to. It's a long right-hand corner. You deal with understeer the whole time. You try to get early power because of this long straightaway to the kink. We have a little traffic with the prototype. We'll lift a little bit toward the kink, turn in, right back to flat on the gas. They moved the wall back 10 feet there, so thanks to Road America for that. And actually put safer barrier in as well, which is nice. Down to Canada corner, turn 12, down to second gear, turn in. Use all the curb there to get the car to rotate. We use a little bit of curb on the exit, but not too much because it upsets the balance. Turn 13. This corner separates the men from the boys here. Just a little bit lift, back to flat. Use all the road on the exit. The excess road there we're allowed to use, which is really nice. And the last corner right here, turn 14. We can use all the road on the exit, and it's important to maximize the speed there because of the long uphill straightaway at Road America. And here we are coming across the start-finish line, and that's a lap at Road America.
And there you see it, the beautiful 4-mile-long Road America here on Sunday. A beautiful day for racing as the field of DPIs, LMP2s, GT Le Mans, and GT Daytona drivers see the green flag. We are off and racing here at Road America. The Acura Team Penske DPIs out front here as they dive down into turn 1, and then it's the cars from Mazda, Team Yost, the 55 and the 77, the 31 Whelen Engineering Cadillac, Pippo Durrani behind the wheel, and should be Ranger van der Zande in the number 10 Konica Minolta Cadillac racing with the JDC Miller Motorsports cars. We go on board now with the 912 Porsche just behind our leaders in the GT Le Mans category. They make their way out of turn 3 underneath the bridge, and they'll set up for that very technical left-hander. The Mazda Team Yost cars side by side and racing here on lap 1. Man, oh, you wonder if that's a good idea because you see the Acura Team Penske cars up front able to just pull away. It's lap 1 here at Road America. A little bit later on in the race, we check in. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in GT Le Mans. Second place is the number 24 BMW right there of John Edwards. And then you've got Richard Westbrook in the Ford GT and Tommy Milner back for the first time in the Corvette. Now, a battle for the lead as it's going to be Harry Tinknell. Tinknell in turn 1 licks the stamp and sends it around the outside. Tinknell absolutely steals the race lead from Juan Montoya in the number 6 Acura Team Penske DPI. Tinknell shows Mazda's speed here. They're coming off 2 wins in a row, Watkins Glen and Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. And now with 45 seconds left to go, they're making their way around to see the white flag. 1.5 laps left to go here at Road America. Through Canada corner, Harry Tinknell still in the number 55. Dane Cameron has climbed behind the wheel of the number 6 Acura Team Penske machine. The 2 leaders making their way through 13. Now they'll head for the right-hander, corner number 14. GT Le Mans traffic up ahead. Dane Cameron chomping at the bit. They make their way up the hill one more time. When they get to the top, they'll see the white flag waving. 1 lap to go here at Road America. Tinknell trying to get 2 wins in 3 races for the number 55 Mazda Team Yost team. And then right behind him, Oliver Jarvis. They make their way into turn number 5. Oh boy, Tinknell had lap traffic in front of him and it hurts his exit. Cameron down to the inside, up the hill, now to the outside. Tinknell's able to keep Cameron behind him. They climb the hill around turn number 6. Mazda Team Yost running 1-3 here at Road America. It's team principal John Doonan's home racetrack. He's been coming here since he was 6 months old. He's on top of the pit box, losing his mind right now as his cars run 1-3. And Roger Penske's number 6 runs right between them in second. They make their way around the carousel for the final time. Can Tinknell keep Dane Cameron behind him? They've only got a few corners left to go. Out of the back straightaway, through Canada corner. They make their way around LMP2 traffic. Tinknell only has 3 corners left to go now. Cameron chases him up the hill. They'll see the checkered flag waving, and for the 3rd week in a row, Mazda Team Yost wins in DPI. Tinknell gets the job done. Cameron comes home in 2nd, and the other Mazda, Oliver Jarvis, comes home in 3rd, and there's John Doonan, emotional on top of the stand as his drivers win 3 weeks in a row here in IMSA WeatherTech. IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship standings. DPI class. LMP2 class. GT Le Mans. GT Daytona. In the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge, 23 different teams supported by 11 different manufacturers will take to the track at Road America. Here to explain how IMSA will keep the racing as close as possible is Senior Technical Manager Jeff Mishtawi.
This has been a great year for both the series so far. We only have 4 events left, including this one, to decide the championships for drivers, teams, and manufacturers. So as you can imagine, at this point of the year, the competition is getting really close. The championship contenders are starting to emerge, and we're starting to see everybody really putting it out there on the line. So the quality of data that's being generated and collected is very high. After the last few races, a couple of trends emerged. And consistent with our regulations, a couple of changes were automatically or semi-automatically implemented. In the GS class were an addition of weight to the Mercedes and the Camaro of 20 kilograms each. Right? With those 2 cars, this was what we call a merit change, meaning that the trend on the performance of the cars was consistent with the weight increase of that much. It was actually called for a little bit more. But we have certain caps on the limits we can make, and 20 kilograms was the most of that. The Porsche and GS, we had a 25 kilogram weight reduction. The Porsche and GS is new to the series this year, and we considered it what's called a probation car, meaning that we can go beyond the normal caps and we can make changes sooner than the rolling averages limit us to.
And we are finally ready to go racing here at Road America. After rain in the area has shortened our race to only 1 hour and 15 minutes, the clock starts and the green flag waves. Tyler McQuarrie and Owen Trinkler, a very familiar sight so far this season at the front of the field. McQuarrie earned the pole position, but it's actually going to be Trinkler going around the high side here in a very fast and a very slick turn 1 at Road America. Pole sitter Tyler McQuarrie looks like he's got troubles as he's down to 4th, 5th already. Not the setup here for these damp conditions around the 4-mile-long Road America. McQuarrie and that number 39 team are in trouble early in this one. About an hour to go in the race, we check in with TCR. Mark Wilkins leading the way, Brian Henderson and Shelby Blackstock out of turn 13, setting up for the final corner. That looks like Blackstock on the inside of the Atlanta Speedworks number 84. Now Blackstock trying to take the lead away from Wilkins in that Hyundai out front there side by side. But we cut now to the final lap. Out front it's Kuno Whitmer for Compass Racing in the McLaren, and in the 71 Robin Liddell 4th place. He's trying to take 1 spot, maybe 2 spots away. The Rebel Rock Racing Camaro gets 2 cars in 1 corner. Oh my goodness. Robin Liddell gets around Eric Foss in the 56 and Corey Fergus in the number 69. Does he have enough time though to catch race leader Kuno Whitmer? Folks, this is the final lap. Only 1 corner to go. Foss trying to make something happen on Corey Fergus, but Kuno Whitmer is just trying to get up and over the hill because he'll see the checkered flag waving. I think Whitmer's got it. Robin Liddell gets 2 cars in 1 corner. Whitmer down the middle of the track, and he starts to slow. Liddell gets the win at the line. Robin Liddell steals the victory away from Kuno Whitmer in the Compass Racing. There you see it. Oh my goodness, the Camaro at the last second crosses the line and steals the victory from the Compass Racing team. Kuno Whitmer maybe got out of the gas early. There could have been a problem with the car. We've got no idea, but here's the replay right within 100 yards of the finish line. The Compass Racing machine starts to slow, and Robin Liddell keeps his foot in the gas. And here's a look at the Compass Racing pit box. Paul Holton thinks they've won the race, and he looks out and he sees, oh, he can't believe it. Rebel Rock Racing and Robin Liddell steal the win in Wisconsin. IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge point standings. GS class. The TCR class.
Oh yeah. Ready?
I'm ready.
The centerpiece for the Tech Center was the simulator program. Every time we have a driver or a team in the simulator, it makes that driver, that car, that setup, that engineer smarter and better.
When you're at Road America in the real, trying to test going flat has huge repercussions, right? So that's why this is so cool, because the dynamics of the car are the same in here as they are on the track. You can make that adjustment. You can turn a little later, you can turn a little earlier, you can keep trying it flat and drive off in the grass, and it'll help you. And so, I mean, that's what comes to mind first to me, is when I go to Road America now after spending all this time today, I kind of know that point where I can have a shot at making the corner flat. And that's a big deal, man, because you don't want to see what the repercussion is if you do it wrong flat in real life.
You can up and down the grip level. You can basically simulate rain. You can simulate the darkness. Super low grip, but the driver makes it up.
Okay, that's enough. Shut him down.
Need some corner lights here. Thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Holy moly.
You gone.
I'm going.
Today we're having a good time watching who could do the lap, and you know, it's always that last guy in gets that last shot to throw down.
It's always a challenge. You know, I know what he did right now, and when I'm going back on the sim, I want to beat that time, that's for sure.
When you get here, you feel like you're dropping right in, like you've already been here for a while. We did some bar changes on the simulator, some damper stuff, and all that stuff seemed to work here also.
We had like a special setup for, there's a bump going up the hill into 6, where the rear gets slide over the bumps. That specific setting worked there perfectly, so it's definitely working.
It's the battle for second in GT Le Mans. Ford are 1-2.
Checker flag.
Back-to-back wins on the series.
Good job, mate.
Callahan and Dirk Miller. Once again, a 1-2 finish. A clean sweep of 1-2 for Vortip Ganassi Racing.
Now we're doing mainstream vehicle dynamics development here as well. So for our road cars that people can buy in a Ford dealership and drive on the street today, we're using the same simulator that we use in racing to develop our future road cars to make those cars even better, better steering response, better ride, better handling, better braking.
Welcome to Road America, the longest track on our WeatherTech Sports Car Championship schedule.
Love the atmosphere here at Road America. The grid is packed. It is a perfect day for sports car racing. Team Yost is looking for their third straight perfect race day.
You look at the championships, a nice boiling point, single-digit point leads among all 4 classes.
They go! Acura, Mazda, Cadillac.
Do what you can.
Ben Keating, a wounded Mercedes-AMG.
Car up on the track.
Castro Neves up to speed.
Montoya's going to try and defend side by side between the teammates.
Montoya's not letting him go, now he has to. Catherine Legg into the back of Patrick Long.
It's hard to tell if Patrick was almost trying to make a payback.
We saw all that, don't worry about it. Damage on the left rear.
There's a little touch there. Hey, if you pass anyone into turn 1 at Road America, you're brave. But if you pass one Pablo Montoya on the outside into turn 1, that is something. Ticknell makes a mistake in turn 3. Runs off track. Montoya will have a little bit of a run on him. Lamborghini up against Porsche. Paul Miller racing up against Pfaff Motorsport. It is Brian Sellers and Matt Campbell.
Ticknell really aggressive there in traffic.
One way, looks the other.
Car looking inside, big line.
Campbell trying to go around the long way into turn 5, but Sellers kind of pinches him off.
Oh, look at this frustration. Losing multiple seconds here in GTD traffic.
And a superb job to keep the Porsche young professional behind him.
The Sellers peels off inside the window to get to the finish with the top up on fuel.
Box is flat, fuel and tires.
We'll be exiting the pit close to you.
Gotta make room, wow! Thread the needle.
24, he's leading not that long ago, and I think it's a brake issue.
Nothing but pride.
Not going to get a result today.
Garcia, bad news. He brought this car in on the lead, but they have lost an alternator belt.
Any hopes of this car winning today, though, seemingly out the window.
And Ollie Jarvis is as close as he has been, closer perhaps.
Oh yeah, there's a touch there. Not sure if he got into it with the Corvette there.
Oh, and contact there!
Simpson does the over-under, gets to the inside, little touch there. Simpson's going to force his way through, I think.
Oh no! Look at this!
It's a touch! Super aggressive there.
Clear track ahead.
Dane Cameron whipping through GT traffic. Higher tyre degradation. Olsen is off!
Woo!
And back on, thankfully.
It's the battle for second in GT Le Mans.
Great battle with the Fords all day, and we've been right there with them, back and forth, really close, really tight. But I think we might just fall a tiny bit short.
This has been
Cameron's got a huge run!
an Acura and a Mazda weekend all weekend long, and now it's coming down to the final laps of this race.
Little lock up there! Oh, the leader's gone wide! Goes right off the circuit and pulls across! He's hit the other car!
Any of these three drivers could win this motor race. This is it. Can Mazda get three in a row?
Is it Mazda or is it Acura?
The Mazda may do it.
It will be Mazda again this time. 3 in a row for Mazda. Second race win on the year for the 55.
And Matt McMurray will win in LMP2. Well done, and Patrick Kelly in his drive for PR1 Matheson Motorsports.
Ford are 1-2.
Checker flag.
Back-to-back wins on the series.
Good job, eh?
Matt Campbell will actually win GTD by a whole lap.
Congratulations, great drive. Nice work, everybody.
Back-to-back wins in GTD as well.
At the end, I was just hanging on for dear life. Well earned. 3 in a row for Mazda, as John Doonan says. Don't count us out of the championship yet.
Racing at Road America is done. Up next, the pair of series head to Virginia International Raceway in Alton, Virginia for the second GT-only weekend of the season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road next time on IMSA, The Road to Racing.